Society wants you to be put into a box and categorized. You shouldn't want to be approved by everyone in society. You shouldn't want to be accepted by everyone in society. You need to learn to live your life for yourself. Sure, society gives this pressure to women on how we should look, how we should walk, how we should talk, how we should think. So even though society is pressuring you to be something that you don't want to be, that doesn't mean that you have to be those things. That doesn't mean you have to shove yourself into those boxes. Because at the end of the day, as women, we still also have free will. Because if you spend your entire life blaming society for your own behavior, if you spend your entire life blaming men for who they are, then you're taking all the accountability off of yourself. Because it gets to a point in your life where you no longer can be the victim and you have to be the villain in your own story. Being the villain doesn't necessarily mean you're a horrible person. Telling people no, all of a sudden you're a villain in their eyes. I have learned that myself. If you think differently, you're all of a sudden a villain in other people's eyes as well. So that's why I say stop being a fucking victim in this society and start being the villain. You are not going to be liked by everyone. You're not going to be liked even by all your girlfriends. You're not going to be liked by all the men that you date, especially. A lot of people are fake. Most of the people around you are just as fake as you are. So why would you want to be liked by people who also don't know who they are? Most of society is performing. Most of society is shoving themselves into boxes so that they can feel comfortable, feel safe around other people that don't fucking like them. And not only those people not like them, those people also don't like themselves. Why would you want to be loved by people who don't love themselves? I think the biggest issue with this is that a lot of people didn't get to choose their own identity and their own life path when they were born. In society, women are given this role that we have to be wives and that we have to be mothers, okay? But in reality, that is not going to be every woman's role. Just like being a father is not every male's role as well. Being a parent to any children is a huge responsibility. So there's no reason that just because you are born a woman, that means that automatically you're going to be a good mom. And that also doesn't mean because you're born a man that you are automatically going to be a good father. Society pressures all of us to continue multiplying. The men are being told that if you don't multiply, you don't have a legacy. And the women are being told if you don't multiply, you're fucking useless. To me, that's two sides of the same coin. Both are really high standards that both women and men cannot meet. And in that same breath, men are also being told that they are all leaders and providers, when in reality, being a leader is a certain personality type. It does not matter what your gender is. Up until I was about 21 years old, that's when I really wanted to be validated and really wanted to be accepted by other people in society. And this stems from the root cause of not being seen, heard, or validated while I was growing up. And again, should I blame my parentals? I could. But I also don't want to blame them because they grew up in the same society where society did not validate them. Their parents didn't validate them either. So instead of me being a fucking victim for the rest of my life and saying, woe is me, I just wasn't validated enough, I realized that I have to start validating myself. I realized that I had to start building my own identity for myself. No matter how much I tried to shove myself in these boxes in society where people fucking like me, even when I got into those boxes, people didn't fucking actually like me because once again, everyone also hates themselves. So if everybody on a mass scale hates themselves, why do you expect those same people to love you for who you are? I made a video about this a while ago where I think everyone is fake as fuck because I truly do believe that everyone is fake as fuck. Everyone is performing on this world stage, which is understandable because most people do have to perform in order to survive on this world stage. The men have to perform with their male friends in their male hierarchies because if they even come out being a little bit fruity, all of a sudden they are shunned from their groups. If the men go to their friends and tell their friends that, oh yeah, I was SA'd, their friends will laugh at them. So they have to put on this front as well, this act, this mask, even in their own friend groups to still be accepted. And the women have to do the same exact fucking thing. Both men and women are extremely insecure and they behave this way in their social circles. Because I remember even me growing up, if I didn't look a certain way, if I didn't have money, if I didn't fit in with the rich kids, I also wasn't accepted in the girl circles. And as you're growing up, there's nothing you want more than to be accepted. But that's why I see this pattern where everyone is not accepted or validated even simply by their parents. And then we go out into this broken world, into these broken systems with other broken human beings looking for validation. The way that I kind of see it is like those villains in movies and shows where they are literally just acting. Like that's not actually who they are. But in reality, a lot of people are still like, you know, He's really good at his fucking role and I still don't like him, but he's literally acting. People act the same way if they are good people as well. So when I see that everyone is fucking acting, when I see that everyone's fake as fuck, I decide to pull my energy back. Because I also realized that in this fake ass world, you being real is gonna make everyone else uncomfortable. Because everyone else is acting, everyone else is on a stage. You being authentic to yourself, you behaving the way that you want to behave, you thinking the way that you want to think, you dressing the way that you want to dress, automatically triggers people, because to them they feel a lot of shame of, why can't I act this way? If they can do it, I should be able to do it too. And I remember feeling this way at one point in my life when I didn't fully accept myself for who I was. I was scrolling my feeds and I would see like fitness influencers and I'd be like, I can fucking do that. It's fucking easy. Anybody can do that. But in reality, actually, social media is really fucking hard. And you find that out when you start doing social media. It's simply not just easy because you look a certain way. Is that leverage? Maybe. But in reality, I realized that that was coming from a jealous place inside of myself where I was like, I know I can fucking do that. I know I can do it fucking better. So in order for me to show up online at all, I had to work on my own insecurities throughout this entire journey. I had to learn how to accept myself for who I am. Over the last 4 or 5 months on TikTok, I've been posting 10 times a day, basically getting over my fear of being seen simply by posting constantly and not giving a fuck of what I actually look like. Most of my videos, I look a fucking hot mess. Most of my videos, I'm setting up the camera, not caring what people think about me, because to me, I'm thinking, I'm working on my voice, I'm working on my message, I'm working on what I'm saying. I don't care what I look like, because it wasn't about what I looked like, it was the fact that I was showing up. And to me, that was my biggest accomplishment with the last 4 or 5 months on TikTok. Because simply showing up is actually really difficult for people. Simply showing up as your authentic self is actually really difficult for like 95% of people, I would say. It takes some balls to actually show up online. It takes some balls to actually be yourself even in your real life. A lot of people, like I said, are even fake with their friends, fake with their boyfriends. A lot of people are not showing exactly who they are. Because the way that I see it is if everybody stopped performing, they would probably lose all that fake validation that they were getting. And does that validation actually really even matter if you know it's not genuine? Does that love even count if you know it's not real? I feel the same way about the whole love sham. Does it really fucking matter if someone tells you they love you if they don't fucking mean it? Not really. Because again, we live in a world where people hate themselves, so why do you expect people who hate themselves to love you? Why do you expect people who have never done inner work to care about you more than they care about themselves? There's obviously nuance to this where people kind of get to this point where they do hate themselves and they seek outside of themselves for some sort of like idol worshiping. And that again is also broken behavior. So even to the people that decided to stop liking me and say that they feel like they were betrayed, because to me, the way that I see it is I'm a human being. You can't expect me to be perfect. You can't try to put me into this box that makes you comfortable just so that you can worship me. And I'm not anybody big, I'm not a fucking celebrity, but you see the same type of behavior with celebrities, and a celebrity makes a big mistake, or not even a big mistake, they wear the wrong t-shirt, right? All of a sudden, millions of people hate them. For example, Beyonce wore a t-shirt that's like politically incorrect, etc., etc. I don't want to get into it, but the reason I'm bringing this up is millions of people decided to hate her or be on a hate train about her, when in reality, I know that hate is actually just a projection from the internal world that you are living in. It's never about the thing outside of you, it's just you are looking for a punching bag of where you can express your anger. And I noticed that with people who started hating on me, I realized how angry and how hateful they are of themselves. I noticed how they haven't actually ever done any sort of inner healing work, because me personally, I would never go on the internet and hate somebody with my fucking core. Like I would turn my phone off before I did anything like that, because to me that's a waste of energy, that's a waste of time. I'm also not like that in real life. Usually if people irritate me, I just remove them from my life. I don't engage, I don't talk to them. But the way that I saw people getting this upset, it really just showed me how much internalized hatred everybody actually has for themselves. And I already know this, because when I started my own healing journey, I was like, oh, I hate myself. Oh, he hates himself. Oh, they hate themselves. And I came to that conclusion that nobody has ever actually done real inner work. And I'm not a perfect person at all. I don't wake up every single day thinking I'm amazing, I love myself. Everybody has rough days. Some days I go to bed crying. Some mornings I wake up crying and upset and scared with my life. But that's part of being a fucking human being. I'm not a perfect individual, and I never came on the internet saying that I was. But I think a lot of this has really shown me how people hold really high standards on people that they don't fucking know, while the bar is extremely low for their own behavior, right? A lot of people feel like it's okay for them to be terrible people, but then when it comes to other people outside of them that they don't fucking know, they hold other people to really fucking high standards, while they have never actually done anything important for society, while they have never actually helped people, while they have just been vibrating extra low their entire fucking life. So why does any of this matter? Because if you are performing for people your entire life, if you are seeking for validation outside of yourself your entire fucking life, you never learn how to validate yourself. So internally, you always end up hating yourself no matter what, no matter how many things you do to try to fill the void, no matter how much self-care you give yourself, no matter how many things you buy yourself, no matter how many trips you go on, you still hate yourself. And the root of the self-hatred really is just this voice in your head telling you that you should hate yourself. It's really that simple. None of it's real. None of the self-hatred that you have for yourself is real. None of the negative thoughts that you have about yourself are real. Even all the bad memories that you have of yourself making mistakes, none of those are real. Those are in the past. Now they are just memories in your brain. They are not happening actively right now. So when it comes to healing something like this, you have to live in the present, you have to live in reality, and you have to look forward. Otherwise, you do end up staying in that place where you hate yourself, you hate everyone else around you. And that's kind of why we are where we are in society right now, because everybody fucking hates themselves. And most of the self-hatred that we have on ourselves comes from external sources. It comes from needing to be validated by people who hate themselves, like I keep saying. It comes from this pressure from society that you need to look a certain way, act a certain way, think a certain way. And if you don't do everything just fucking right, then you're gonna hate yourself. You're always gonna fucking hate yourself. Because as a human being, you're holding on to these mistakes that you've made, and you think that now you're a horrible person, you think that nothing will ever change, when in reality, it's just your thoughts that have to change. And it might sound simple, it might sound easy, but realistically, that's how much power we hold inside of ourselves as human beings, especially as women. So, in conclusion, your victim mentality and your hate for yourself is actually a choice. No one else can change that shit for you except for yourself. That's it, that's all. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to like. Please don't forget to comment positive or negative thoughts, but maybe try to stay on topic. That'd be kind of cool. That's all I have to say. I told myself that I need to show up on here and stop overthinking, stop hating myself, stop planning, stop feeling like I have to be perfect. And that's the same thing that I was doing on my TikTok. So I'm gonna carry the same exact message on my YouTube. I'm gonna keep showing up. I'm gonna keep showing up, no matter fucking what. So to the haters, I'm sorry, but I'm not going anywhere.